General Manager Andrew Berry his thoughts on drafting and developing young quarterbacks.
A lot of the quarterback position is, the environment that you put the individual in. Whether that's with teammates, schematically, what you ask them to do, and honestly, what you ask them to do early in their career. And I think you're starting to see it more and more across the league that quarterbacks can produce in a number of different ways. The way that Josh Allen produces is a lot different than the way that Brock Purdy produces. The way that the system that Tua runs is a lot different than the system that Lamar Jackson runs. And, I think it's of great importance for any organization bringing in a quarterback to understanding what that individual does well and how you both build an offense and design a scheme to accentuate that individual strength. Because I think as long as they have a level of baseline talent, you can have a productive player at the position as long as you're thoughtful in terms of building the environment around him.
So, Quincy, I guess the question is there a quarterback worth drafting in this year's draft class, do you think?
I think it depends on where you're picking. The value might make more sense depending on who's there. It depends on what you feel like in that organization about your in-person visits with this person, right? Like a lot of the quarterback evaluation stuff, you can go off tape, and tape is really helpful, but you don't know what that player was being asked to do. I think Dak Prescott's a perfect example of a guy you watch him in college and you're like, okay, this isn't going to be very useful in the NFL. But then he gets to the Cowboys and he looks like a completely different guy because he just wasn't used that way, right? And you kind of discover that in your process of interviewing these guys and seeing, what else are they capable of doing instead of just looking at them through the box of what they have done in the NFL. So, yeah, I think, drafting a quarterback makes a lot of sense in this year's draft if you're the Browns, but it's about where. And once you decide where you're taking that quarterback, how much time are you willing to give this as a project and how much are you willing to commit to it?